Big Man on Campus College football preview video. It is the Saturday breakdown of Week 6, breaking down the entire day in college football. See what we can find as far as winners here on a Saturday. A lot going on, a big week in sports betting. Got NFL Week 6 or Week 5 tomorrow, college football today. Let's get after it and see if we can make some money here on another Saturday here. So, you look at college football, getting towards the halfway point. I mean, already. Seems like just yesterday we were starting college football, but we're already, almost halfway through. This is a big day for me today, at least for my own personal bets that I'm putting out. This is a big day for me. I put 4 games out, 4 different games, 4 different situations and spots. We'll see how it all goes. I'm really happy with them. I'm looking forward to them. We'll see how it all works out. But let's bring it all in here. Let's rein it all in here, and let's start breaking down a couple games here. If you're out there on Twitter, please retweet the show, shout it out, let people know what's on. We are live every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Plenty of people here. Where can I find soccer analysis? This is the thing about Twitter. It's so, you try to tell people 10,000 times. I don't know. I mean, I follow me on Twitter, guys. That's all I can really say. I mean, I post a blog every week on pubsportsradio.com. I try to put it out there as many times as I can. I can't send it to every single person, unfortunately. I still have people asking me every day if I cap NHL. It's like, no, I don't. Follow me on Twitter. I mean, if you don't have Twitter by now, I don't know what to tell you. Mike, Crypto, Joe, Dave, Michael, Titlius, Joe M, Crypto, Hey, Guy, Taylor H, Robbie Tops, Melvin, what's up? Thanks for watching the show. All right, let's get into some breakdowns here. Let's talk about these games. First game, right out of the gate, Iowa, Michigan. People have asked me about this game all week. Look, if you want to back Michigan here, you want to back this group at a big game, be my guest. I'm not going to do it. I don't really see a reason to do it. I think there are better options in the card today. Look, these teams are pretty similar. I mean, they're mostly a run-first group that wants to play defense. But look, at the end of the day, I'll take Iowa's defense over Michigan's. I'll take Iowa's quarterback over Michigan's, and I'll take Iowa's offense over Michigan's. I don't know why we're continuing to put Michigan on a pedestal and put them as a 3.5-point, 4-point favorite in this game. I don't really see it. I don't really understand it. But they are at home here. They are I think you're hoping that they're through the rain and now they see the sun. I guess that's what you're thinking here. This is an Iowa team that's also very disciplined. They're second in the country in fewest penalties. They only have 1 turnover. They don't allow much in the way of tackle for loss. They have a good offensive line. I guess when I look at this game, I'm trying to ask, like, if you like Michigan, why do you like Michigan? Like, I'm trying to understand what the point, like, what you're doing here. Because, like, I don't think there's really any advantage Michigan has really outside that it's in Michigan. It's also not like Michigan ever beats Iowa. I mean, Kirk Ferentz has owned this matchup. So, like, if you're legitimately on Michigan, I want to know why you're on Michigan. Like, again, it's always like, I like Michigan. Okay, well, why do you like Michigan? What makes you like Michigan? Oh, I don't know. I like the line. Okay, well, why? Like, what makes you like Michigan here? Because I see people, Michigan's going to stomp them. Okay, why? Tell me why. I don't see it. And again, I'm not any sort of, I'm not a psychic or anything, but I don't get why you would be on Michigan here, personally. Is the lower league show canceled? Yeah, this is a question I'm getting a lot. Yes, as far as I know. I basically said that I didn't want to do it anymore. Listen, it's very simple. I'm just not doing a lot anymore if I can't. Like I want to work. I want to work for something. I want a home. I want to do stuff places. And SBR seemingly doesn't have the same vision as me. I'll gladly continue to help Donnie with the NFL show. I enjoy working with Donnie. I like doing that show. But SBR is just going a different way. They find it more interesting to put listeners and that kind of thing on the show. Which, again, I mean that's their thing. That's their decision. They do what they got to do. I outlined kind of some things that I'd like to do for them. They didn't want to do it. So, I'm just gonna kind of keep doing my own content. I hate to do it. I like working with Flash and that kind of thing, but I think it's important to just kind of have a home and kind of, if you can't, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I again, I mean, we still have there's still no reasoning on Michigan. Robbie, I'm looking at you, Robbie Tops. Robbie Tops, exact quote. I like Michigan a lot. Okay, what about them? What about them? I'm going to rock with Iowa here. I just don't see much here to make me think that Michigan's going to get off the deck. Oklahoma, Kansas. This is a game I bet. I have Oklahoma first half, minus 20.5. I really like this spot for Oklahoma. The only concern that's popped up is the weather. I think by 12:30, 1 o'clock, though, the rain should be out of there. And I don't know how much it really affects Oklahoma. Kansas has real big problems right now. You look at across the ball. I mean, defensively, I don't think they're going to stop Oklahoma here. They never can stop anybody. And now they're one of their best offensive players. He left the team, and Khalil Herbert. And this is an Oklahoma team that's done really well in the first half. I mean, they're taking care of business early. They're getting a lead early. They're doing what they have to do early. I like this spot for Oklahoma because, again, I think when you're looking at favorites on the road, you always obviously have to think about the back door. And that's something that I've had to deal with, recently in some of the games I've been on. Even in my own personal betting, the Temple and the Air Forces and stuff like that. I'm kind of looking at this, and I was hoping to get like a 19.5, 20 kind of number here. And that's exactly what I got. Oklahoma has done better, if not much better, in the first half against better football teams. I don't see any reason they can't go in here and really kind of take care of business early, get out of here early, figure it out early, and by halftime, you're getting ready for Texas. Kansas also lost Drew Prox, one of their better defensive players. That's going to be a big loss. According to a lot of people in the Kansas football circle, he was kind of the heart and soul of the defense. And since he's went out, they've had some trouble. You look at last week, Kansas, they got absolutely destroyed by TCU, and a TCU team that has had their own issues. Go through the game log for Oklahoma and look at the first halves in their games this year. I mean, they're taking care of business. They're getting it done early. You look at last week, 34-10 against Texas Tech. Week before against UCLA, 34-7. Week before, South Dakota, 28-0. So this has been kind of a consistent product for Oklahoma. Putting teams away early, putting teams away early, putting teams away early. I think they do the same to Texas or to Kansas and get ready for Texas. That is the play for me. Oklahoma minus 20.5. What else do we have here? Michigan is a Lion. Well, I mean, they're not, but I mean, you're just providing me no context, bro, at all. No context. And this is where, for me, I'm not trying to be rude, but you're not giving me anything here. You're just telling me stuff to I don't know what you're doing. Robbie. I mean, look, you're a nice guy. I like you a lot, but I'm just trying to get you to prove as to why you like Michigan. You're telling me Michigan's a lion and Iowa's a deer. What does that mean? What does that even mean? I think Michigan is a better team. Listen, Robbie, are you drunk, bro, this morning? I mean, you're spelling Michigan 6 different ways, cuz. What's going on with you this morning? Are you all right, Robbie? A little worried about you here. I mean, you spelled Michigan 4 different times wrong. It's weird. Yeah. Okay, they figured it out. Okay, what makes you think they figured it out? Well, we'll let him get his bearings. We're gonna move on to other games because we can't talk about Michigan forever here. What else do we have here? Kent State, Wisconsin. Donnie Wright said, and I talked about this game the other night. He mentioned he liked the over here. I can't fault him. You have to think Michigan or Wisconsin's going to put up some points in this game. Can Kent State add to the scoreboard? I think that's your concern here. Is this is this one of those 45-10 kind of games? Something like that. Not on it. No interest. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. Early in the week, I had some interest in Okie State here. I still like it. I don't love it. Okie State laying double digits on the road. Texas Tech, this is not the same Texas Tech team as we've been accustomed to. They're not as explosive. They don't have great quarterback play. Defensively, they're back to struggling. They've just not been real good. And against the run, they've been poor. I'd expect Chuba Hubbard to have a big day here. Look, if you have Chuba Hubbard fantasy, bet him. This kid is unbelievable, really great player. This is going to be a really good Oklahoma State team. I mean, you better believe down the road, with some of the young players they have, it's going to be a good football team. I'm looking forward to them next year for sure. Gun to my head, I'd lay it here, but not a great spot as far as from a betting perspective. But I think Texas Tech is bad. I think it's pretty clear they're not a good football team. This is a group that gave up over 300 yards to Arizona on the ground. Hubbard off a almost 300-yard performance last week. If I'm Hubbard, I'm licking my lips at this matchup here. Should be exciting. Thoughts on the Army game? I'll get to all the games, guys. Just sit back and relax. We'll get to all the games. Purdue, Penn State. This numbers went up all week. Let me kind of set the stage of what Purdue's going to have to deal with today. First of all, you're on the road, in-state college. You have a Penn State team that is off just a whitewashing of Maryland, a game that they looked really explosive in, really unbelievable in, really aggressive in, really physical in, and really fast in. And now they're big favorites against a Purdue team that has no quarterback, at least they have a backup quarterback in. Their best skill position player's out. The guy that makes them explosive, he's out. Their best linebacker's out. The best defensive lineman's out. And now they're big 4-touchdown underdogs on the road. I haven't seen a ton from Jack Plummer. Look, I guess if Moore was in there, I'd have a little bit more reason to think that they could maybe hang in this game. Plus, you got to add in the fact that this Purdue defense is bad. I mean, their pass defense is really bad. I mean, one of the worst in the country. You look at the team total here for Penn State at 42. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. I think they push 50 in this game. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of long drives for Purdue. I think it's going to be quick. I think Penn State's going to have the ball a lot. Am I going to lay it? No. I mean, I think there are other games out there that I'm a little bit more interested in, but Purdue has some real problems. And if I'm a Purdue fan today, I continue to worry. They've just been really unlucky. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries, and the injuries have come to their worst, the worst players to have them come to. I mean, the really good players in this team: Moore, Sindelar, Lorenzo Neal on defense. I mean, they've just been unlucky with who's gotten injured. Tulane and Army. Tulane continues to get very little respect in this game. Army down to +2. You could have got them 3.5 all week. Bettors continue to come in and bet Army here. This is a tough game for Army at least, but this is a spot where you look at all the two of the military academies today, home underdogs. Tulane getting a lot of respect here, and I think a lot of really good football people, as far as in this business, like Tulane. They're a good rush offense. They have a really capable quarterback. Defensively, they're solid. But I think the concern has to be defensively against this rushing attack. I didn't love what I saw against Houston. The problem with that is Houston and Army, from a run offense perspective, are a lot different. Houston's a little bit more explosive, a little bit more spread option. You can, a lot more throwing. Army's just going to basically say, okay, we're going to run up the middle and we're going to pitch and things like that. Obviously, you want to check your injury reports. It looks like Calvin Hopkins is going to be good for this game. If you liked Army and you're betting it now, I don't know what to tell you. You should have bet it a long time ago. If you're betting it now, I don't know what to tell you. You're not getting a good number. You're betting the worst number. It's not something I'm looking to do. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing betting Army right now. If you didn't like it early in the week and you didn't get it at 3.5, what are you doing now? West Kentucky or Old Dominion, who wins? I like West Kentucky in that game. I've been impressed with the Hilltoppers. They lose their quarterback last week or 2 weeks ago in Duncan. Ty Story comes in, the Arkansas transfer, does some really good things for them. Game manager, doesn't turn the ball over, gets the ball to his playmakers. And defensively, they've improved under Helton. They've looked real good defensively. I was impressed with what they did last week against a real good football team in UAB. Now they're facing an Old Dominion team that really has very little talent outside the quarterback position. If they can key in on Stone Smart, the quarterback at Old Dominion, they're going to have a pretty good game. West Kentucky playing well. They need this game. If you want to make a bowl game, you got to win games like this. I have no reason to think West Kentucky can't go in and win by margin. But yeah, as far as who I would pick in Army Tulane, I always have a soft spot for Army. I like what they do up there. I like what they do on both sides of the football. I don't think they're as good defensively as they have been in years past. I think they're still good. I don't think they're great. Losing Jay Bateman hurt. I think Tulane can hurt them with some explosive plays. Just my thought. But it's real hard for me to bet against Army as an underdog. It just is. For me, I'm avoiding the game. I have an Army team total, so I'm hoping they win this game. In fact, I really hope they win this game. I kind of need them to win this game. Yeah, for me, I'm not real interested in the game. Let's keep it moving here. Utah State, LSU. I see a lot of people on this game. LSU, I still think the jury's out on them still. I like them. I love what they've done with the passing offense, bringing in the new passing game coordinator. And look, Joe Burrow has the best completion percentage in the country. But I still think they're largely devoid of facing a team that's really that good. I know people say, well, they beat Texas. Yeah, but, they gave up 38 points. And, Texas defensively is really bad. Really bad. You look at the other three games, you played Northwestern State, Georgia Southern, and Vanderbilt. Cool, but I don't really care too much about that. Let me tell you one thing about this game. If I get 28, I might consider Utah State. Here's the thing. Jordan Love is a really good player. He's probably a top 4 or 5 quarterback prospect in the draft. He can move the football. The problem around him is he doesn't have a lot of great weapons. If they're going to cover, he's going to have a big game. Again, the jury to me is still out on LSU. Does it matter in this game? I don't know. Probably not. This ain't the same Utah State team either. You lose Matt Wells. Now you have a new, Gary Anderson as your coach as opposed to Matt Wells. Like if Wells was still the coach and this was last year's team, I'd be interested, but it's not. LSU still has some explaining to do. They still have some proving to do. We'll see how good this team is next week against, Florida defense or down the road against, Alabama and Auburn and those kind of groups. We'll see. Let's keep it moving here. Going down the card. FanDuel, for some reason, includes FCS games in these fucking lines, man. Get out of my way, FCS games. Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan. Central Michigan sucks. They're playing with some backups right now, quarterback and running back, I believe, still. Eastern Michigan's been a good ATS team, not been a great favorite bet. So, keep your eye on that. Air Force Navy. All right. I'm on Navy here. I took them plus 3.5 at home. This is probably, if I look at the card, this is probably my favorite game of the day. I'm really happy with Navy. I'm really happy with what they've gotten back to. I think offensively they're really good again. They had a tough season last year. It was kind of one of those seasons where Ken Niumatalolo had to kind of reload a little bit, get some guys back, and now you're feeling pretty good about what you have. I think they have the best player in the field in Malcolm Perry, and I think he's the difference in this game. He's a guy that can really do it all. I mean, he's a great rusher, really good passer. That's something they've incorporated. You're throwing the football into this game. I think they have the better passing attack. I think defensively they're set up to really compete in this game. They're at home. And I look at Air Force and, again, these are games where they're always close. I mean, it's rare that these are blowout kind of games. But Air Force has been a team that, in all the military schools, I'm not running to lay points with them. I'm only looking to get points with them. And again, I'm getting points at home with Navy here. I have a lot of interest in this one. It's a spot I really like. I'm backing home teams today. I got a lot of home teams, with the exception of, I think, one game. I'm on all home teams. So that's kind of my thoughts there. Give me the best player on the field. I got a good line on this game. I got 3.5. So you're down to 3 now. Still think I still like it at 3, but I'd love to get that extra hook if I'm back in Navy here. Again, people say, well, if you like it, what does it matter? Because I'm getting a hook. I want that. I want the best number in this game. And 3.5 was the best number we got on this one. So for me, that's where I'm looking at Navy, Air Force. Will be a good game. I'll be watching it. I'm excited about today. I'm going to sit back and just watch these games. Get involved, have some fun. You look at Air Force as well. I want to point this out. Over the last 3 seasons, guys, as a favorite overall, 5-9 against the number. As a road favorite over the last 3 years, they're 0-3. And over the last 3 seasons, guys, as a favorite of 3.5 to 10 points, 0-5 against the number. This is not a team to lay points with. It just isn't. And now you're doing it against the team that plays exactly like you, who has the better player, and they're at home. Another game I really don't quite understand here. Just don't. All right, let's go to some comments here. Let's see what people are talking about here on this chat box. Oh, man. Robbie Tops is still at it with this Michigan stuff. Listen, Robbie, last time you did this, you got your head caved in with the bet you gave out. We'll see if this one works out for you. Alex Ramirez, what's up? Kevin Scott, thanks for watching. Mike Dorsett Jr., thanks for watching. You said you like Oklahoma first half. Why not take them outright? You mean full game? Just because they're playing Texas next week. It's a big number laying on the road. Just don't really want to lay 33 on the road. That's kind of my thought there. They have a big game next week. Maybe Lincoln Riley looks to get some guys out early. I like the first half. I like what I've seen from them in the first half this year. I think they go in. I think they take care of business early. Good BK Capper. What's up? Thanks for watching, Sterling. I sound like I have a cold. No, not that I know of. Knock on wood. Let's not be a doctor here. All right. Let's just worry about sports, Sterling. No need to be a doctor, cuz. Eric Jones, what's up? Any thoughts on Memphis, UL Monroe? Yeah, I see a lot of people like UL Monroe in this game for some reason. I know Sharp's on UL Monroe. You're not going to get me on UL Monroe. I've seen this incompetent defense time and time again. I don't know. I mean, I don't know much what I'm going to really get out of Memphis. I don't know if there's a bell cow player at Memphis this year. There's no Anthony Miller on this team. I don't think they have much problem with UL Monroe, though. Anyone on Air Force to win? Nah, I'm on the other side there. But yeah, as far as the cold, keep in mind, Tuesday around here, it was like 90 degrees. Last night, it was like 40 at night. And it's only going to be like 55 today. So, yeah, the weather's a changing. Lamar Roberts, give us a lock? Question mark. Lamar, if that's what you're looking for in these shows, you might as well keep wondering. I don't give locks. That's not how this business works. I try to bet the best positions. I try to bet the best games. I try to put out the best info. It's your decision on whether you want to go and bet them. I'm giving you what I'm on. But as far as locks, the only lock you have is on your front door, cause there ain't no locks in this business. And if you have people out there telling you that they have a lock, run the other way. So we got to get to a better spot, Lamar, as a thought process. This is your money. You shouldn't be just throwing it away on locks. Do the research. Find out the best spot. Iowa over Michigan in a nail biter. Bye Harbaugh. What do you think? Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I don't know if they'll win, but I'll gladly take the 4 points. Thanks for watching, Chris. Appreciate it. Yep, college basketball coming up. In fact, guys, college basketball is 1 month away exactly. November 5th, we get started. So thanks for checking out the show. What happened to the black turf of Cincinnati? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it, Ray. Yeah, UAB line looked sketchy last week. I hear you on that. Do I see any actionable edges on Auburn at Florida, says Dag. Yeah, I'm on Florida in this game. Bet it already. Got 2.5. Would have liked to have gotten 3, but I think they win the game. I think we have to start talking more about what Florida has been able to do as opposed to what Auburn has been able to do. Listen, you talk about an overrated football team, Auburn. What has Auburn really done? Seriously. I mean, they beat Oregon. Cool. I mean, pretty good win, but you were down most in that game by double digits. Had to come back furiously late. You beat Mississippi State. Who cares? Mississippi State stinks. You beat A&M. Cool. I mean, they're a middling SEC team as well. Why are we like? I heard Scott Van Pelt the other day say that he thinks Auburn, if they win this game, should be number 1 team in the country. I mean, okay. I mean, that's a little bit ridiculous, I think. This offensive line for Auburn has struggled a little bit. I think they struggle against a really good defensive line. In fact, could be the best defensive line in this conference. Saniga is real. He is good. He is impressive. I mean, I'm getting the home team here as an underdog. You got a freshman, true freshman, Bo Nix on the road. First real tough defense he's faced. First real good defense he's faced. Plus, I mean, the whole world's on Auburn here. Yet the line's going the other way. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's coming to head in this game. Look, I don't like to just bet solely on line moves, but when you have stuff that works out from a situational, player, trend breakdown as well, I really have interest here. I like Florida here in this game. I do. If you ain't a Gator, you're Gator bait, as they say. I'm not Gator bait today. I'm on Florida. My thoughts on Baylor. How do they come off the big win? I like Baylor a lot. Long term, I think they're a really interesting team. They have a lot of playmakers. How do they come off that big win? I hate the word lock. Agreed. It's the worst word in this business. Illinois plus 14 is a good one today. I'm not so sure. Why do you say that? Minnesota's legitimate. Looking for their first 5-0 start in a long time. Got a good run game. 3-headed monster back there. Tanner Morgan's been awesome. Rashad Bateman, I mean, he's killing it at receiver. Like their defense. That game seems to play in the 30s. If there was one over today that I'd bet on, it would be that probably. I think we have some points in that game. I'm not sure Illinois is a good bet, though. This could be a game where Brandon Peters struggles. And if he does, they're not covering and the game's not going over. Yeah, I don't know about Illinois. I'm not on that one. And I don't have an interest in that one either. Am I doing conference breakdowns in college basketball? I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. I think for that, it's like I put in a lot of work with those, a lot of work. And it's like a lot of people there's a select group of people that love college basketball. And there's a lot of people that just don't get involved till like December, and I'll gladly do shit like this where I just take questions. And I think that's something that could be really beneficial for people. But to go through every conference, look, I'd gladly do it. I just want to know that the market's there for me to do it. And a lot of people just, for whatever reason, like to get into college basketball like a month in. And, for me, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing all those conferences. I mean, there's 30 plus conferences, a lot of info. I might do more of something just like this where I'm doing like a Q&A kind of thing. About time for hoodie weather. Yeah, I think it definitely is time. It's going to be hard for Bo Nix to go into the swamp. Yeah, totally agree. That's my thing. That's my thought as well. Any FCS today? No. FCS. What are you talking about, FCS? Minnesota wins 35-30. Yeah, that's I could see it. I don't think it's that close, but I could see 45-31, something like that. All right, let me go down and keep going down through this card. Let me pick out some games here. We'll get back to some questions in a little bit here. Texas, West Virginia. I'm calling it right now. I think West Virginia wins this game. I don't know why. I don't know why I think that. But I think West Virginia is starting to figure it out a little bit. Took some time. They got a new coach, new guys, plug and play, see what Neil Brown's all about. But I think they're starting to figure it out a little bit. They beat up NC State. They won last week. Yeah, they've won 2 in a row now. They're at home here. It's a tough spot for Texas. You got a lot of guys out on defense. Listen, let me say this right now, okay? And I'm going to say this in front of everybody so you don't ever get me fucking confused. Texas's defense fucking sucks. It's that simple. They have a lot of guys out today as well. You got backups all over the field. Todd Orlando, the fact that he's making $1.5 million a year is fucking stealing. Everybody's talking about that poker player that stole all that money with the chip in his hat or whatever. Todd Orlando should be with him as well. They should both get fucking outed for stealing money. Todd Orlando stinks. This guy stinks. He keeps getting money wherever he goes as a defensive coordinator. Nobody understands why, because the guy never gets stops. He stinks. West Virginia's starting to figure it out a little bit. Austin Kendall's the quarterback. Now, Austin Kendall, for anyone that doesn't know, Austin Kendall was at Oklahoma. Obviously, there's a problem with him never getting to play because he's got Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts in front of him, so he moves on. He goes to West Virginia. He wins the job. And this team has some playmakers. Sam James, big-time receiver. Another Jennings brother. They seem to get all the brothers. They get like the Kevin Whites and all these different brother teammates. I like West Virginia. Big 10-point underdog today. Don't be surprised if that game's a shootout and that game's close. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, my mama, take me home. Country roads. So there you go. There you go. Country roads, take me home. West Virginia, lock it in. I love it. I love it. That's going to be our free play of the day here on the show. West Virginia plus 10.5. Lock it in. I wouldn't give up handicapping for a singing career. Well, actually, it's funny you say that. I actually had, when I was a kid, I had a great voice. I got voice lessons. I was singing. My mother's a singer. My grandfather was a singer. It's not really my type of music to sing. I'm more of an R&B kind of guy. And it's cold. I might have a raspy-ish type voice. I'm more of an R&B kind of guy. Alicia Keys, that kind of stuff. So, you probably won't ever hear me sing that, but I can sing. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate that. Thank you, Dexter. Thank you, Perfect Rotation. It's funny. A lot of people like my singing voice other than you, Casey. All my memories gather around her. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving here. He sings Alicia Keys. I do. Diary. It's like my favorite song ever. Lay your head on my pillow. Hear you. All right, let's not get into that. Let's keep it moving here. We'll do a couple more. We're beyond to 11:30, so you guys see the time. Western Michigan, Toledo. This should be a fun game. Toledo can't stop anybody. I don't think Western Michigan can stop anybody. Wasink, Guadini. Should be a shootout. Should be a shit show shootout. That's what it's going to be. Say that 5 times fast. Shit show shootout. Shit show shootout. Shit show shootout. It should be this should be a fun one. Let's just say that. Do I pick a winner? No, because I think it's like a 44-41 type of game. Could go either way here. I think Western Michigan's slightly better though. Western Michigan might be the best team in that conference. North Carolina, Georgia Tech. You got to wonder where UNC's head's at after that near win last week. Now you got to go on the road, lay double digits against a team that we know what their MO is. They're going to try to run the football and keep the ball in their hands. Northwestern, Nebraska. There's actually a total out there for Nebraska in the 40s. Did we start to find something last week with the new quarterback for Northwestern? Because let me tell you something. I was on their team total under. I had a small bet on that last week. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm Northwestern, I go back to that kid. I'm not talking about Hunter Johnson. I'm talking about the other kid. Hunter Johnson went out with an injury. Aiden Smith. Now, I know that it's not going to show on the stat sheet, but I thought he was pretty decent. I know he threw a pick, and I think it was bobbled, and he wasn't – his stats aren't going to say that he was any good. But I think he's dynamic. He's a little bit more mobile. I think he can move the ball against Nebraska. I really do. Again, though, we could also say that Nebraska could just be lost at controls. So I'm just saying, if I'm Nebraska, I would look more towards that kid as opposed to Hunter Johnson. Hunter Johnson's blows. The guy stinks. I don't know how he was a top 5 recruit or a 5-star recruit. I just don't. I got some real questions about that. All right. Peterborough's up 2-0. Good shit. And Ipswich. I need a goal. I need Ipswich. I need Ipswich to score. We'll see if it happens. It's going to be tough, but we'll hope that they can score. All right. Couple comments here. Where are we at here? Talk Liberty if you can. Look, I don't know what else to say about Liberty. I get people in my DM telling me it's a stupid bet. Listen, no offense, but I don't care what you think, okay? Here's the thing about Liberty. They're a better team. It's just that simple. I don't have a problem laying 4 on the road. I don't have a problem with the line move. Sharps sometimes get in bed with bad teams. It's just what they do. But there's nothing about New Mexico State that makes me think they can win this game and stay within 4 points or stay within 4 points. I think Liberty has a much better defense. New Mexico State is one of the worst overall defenses in the country. They're facing a team with a ton of playmakers. And look, it is true that Liberty has made things difficult in certain games, but they're always getting the job done. And I remember a couple weeks ago, I remember on this very show, I came on here and I told you that Buffalo was going to get destroyed by Liberty. And people told me, you're nuts, big man. Liberty can't win on the road. They're going to lose, blah, 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 blah. Buffalo had just beaten Temple, all this crap. They go in, win by 18. And I told you how big of a game it was for Liberty, because you look at games that I like to call springboard games, okay? Liberty had faced 2 real good opponents in week 2 and week 1 and 2, and they lost. They lost badly. They only scored 14 points in 2 games. But then they beat Buffalo. Then they go and crush Hampton. Then they beat New Mexico last week. They've won 3 in a row. A bowl game is now in sight. And with this schedule, to me, you need this game. You have to have it. And I like the mojo right now around this Liberty team. They're getting the job done. They're scoring points for the most part. The passing game looks good. Look at Buckshot Calvert, 300-plus yards in 3 straight games. If they could just clean the turnovers up, they should roll in this game. Because you look at this New Mexico State group, you got to wonder how they get in stops in this game. They've given up 200 or more rushing yards in 4 of their 5 games this year. And the only game they didn't give up 200-plus rushing yards was against Washington State, who doesn't run the ball at all. But in that game, they gave up 507 passing yards. The only way Liberty doesn't cover this game is if they come in with absolutely no spine and they turn the ball over 3 or 4 times. I don't see it. I'll gladly lay the points here with a much better team. New Mexico State is really bad on defense, really bad. So, do what you will, but I like Liberty here. You don't care what we think. I'm actually hurt by that comment. No, I said I don't care what people that DM me think about their thoughts on Liberty. I don't care about that. If you want me to be really honest with you, no, I don't care about what anyone thinks about my bets, whether you listen or don't. I'm confident in what I do, and I think if you do care about what other people think as far as your bet's concerned, I got to wonder what you're doing. It's not me being a dick or arrogant. It's just true. I gladly take a lot of stuff I see on these chats. I like the points. I think all of you on here are very smart bettors and very smart people. But I think if you care what other people think as far as your bets, maybe you should rethink what you're doing. Who is that Liberty quarterback a few years ago that people were obsessed with in the preseason? That was cringeworthy. I don't think it was at Liberty, bro. Bears on Michigan. He stinks, though. He's down on the season. Who cares about him? The Bears on Michigan. So I'm not going to bet Michigan. Who cares about him? What does he know? If Stanford Steve was on it, I might have a little bit more concern, but I don't care about him. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for watching, bro. Thanks for always watching, Josh. Good guy. All right, let's do a few more here. Let me go down the card here. So I basically outlined the games I'm on. Liberty, -4. Oklahoma, -20.5 in the first half. Florida, +2.5. Navy, +3.5. Cal, Oregon. Oregon playing a team with a backup quarterback. Keep in mind, no Chase Garbers for Cal. Bad news, because Devin Monster's bad. If anyone watched last week, Devin Monster can't move the ball. But I do think Cal's pretty good defensively. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think it's like I wouldn't be surprised if this is 34-10, 31-7, something like that. I think the game goes under 46.5. UTSA UTEP. What a shit show this game is. I just wanted to talk about what a shit show it was. Yikes. I mean, UTSA is really an underdog in this game. I don't know. I don't wonder about that. Should UTEP really be favored against anybody? I don't know about that. Oregon State, UCLA. Another game that I would be looking at the injury report. Oregon State's starting to figure it out as well, I think. I mean, I know they didn't win last week, but they're starting to figure it out. I don't know if UCLA is 6 points better than any team right now. I had some really good info last week on Arizona. It worked out, and I got a cover. I might have my eye on that one late night. San Diego State, Colorado State, kind of a clash in styles here. I don't want to bet against San Diego State's defense. I haven't been much involved with Colorado State this year. Boise State, UNLV. UNLV going with a freshman quarterback. Oblad is his name. Again, not the best spot for you. You're facing a team in Boise who's, the best team in this conference. By the way, Boise also one of the fastest teams in the country. They're going a mile a minute, and they like to move quickly. They're off a bye. They've all had all sorts of time to prepare. Buckmeyer looks like he's legitimate, guys. Good group of receivers, a good run game. And what do you get from Oblad here? I mean, UNLV didn't look real good last week. Oblad, 2 interceptions. I don't really know. I don't think it's going to go too well for the kid. I don't like to lay points on the road like this, but UNLV seems to be pretty bad. Pretty bad. Does Wisconsin's running back Taylor go over 200 yards today? Yeah, I would say he does. Ohio or Buffalo? Lean Ohio. If Indiana can score 31 versus Michigan State, how many can Ohio State score? Yeah, that's a good point. 65, I'll say. Yeah, Wyoming's undefeated against the number. I believe they're off this week, though. LSU, Utah State, I already talked about it. Listen, guys, we're almost an hour into the show. We're almost done here. We're almost done here. You're going to have to rewatch. I went over a lot of these games you're asking about. Josh, is Florida with the upset today? I agree. Does UAB route Rice? I'm not so sure. I'll tell you something about Rice. I think they're starting to figure some things out there. I don't think they're that team that is just going to lay down anymore. And this is a UAB team that has a major issue. They can't score points. And that's a big problem when you got to lay double digits. This is a Rice team that I think is starting to find some things. And it's not going to show in their win-loss record. But they kind of remind me a little bit of what San Jose State's doing. San Jose State's starting to look like a competent football team again. It's about figuring things out. And you look at Rice, I mean, really starting, I think, to kind of get it a little bit. This isn't the first time this year that this team has played close in a game against a team they shouldn't be in a close game with. Remember the week 1 against Army? They could have won that game on the road. Baylor, they were battling with the Bears in the fourth quarter. Lost that game by 8. La Tech last week took them to overtime, lost by 3. This is how you change a culture with a football team. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to start winning these games. They're going to start winning the games they should have won. I mean, what makes people want to lay it with UAB here? This is a tough Rice team. They're starting to play some good football. They're not winning games, but this is how you change a culture at a team. And I've seen it. I've been seeing it all year with this Rice team. Could provide to be bad because at some point they're going to lay down, but the season's still alive for them. You look at Rice, okay? It's going to be hard to do. It's nearly impossible. But they're looking for that first win. They're looking for something to go right. They've been so close. Keep in mind, there's still 7 games to go. We're not in the second to last game. Listen, if this was the second or last game of the season, I can understand where you're going with it. But I still think there's a lot of season to play. And I think it all starts today at UAB. You look if you can win this game, okay? Say you beat UAB. Next week, you got a chance to win again. Maybe put a little consistency together. I think the tide is turning at Rice. Again, they're not going to win a lot of games, but this is how you build a culture at a school. They're doing it. Because, again, they were the worst team in the country last year. Now it's about becoming a team that can win a few games, can make some hay, can stay in close games. What else do we have here? All right, take it easy, man. Rice has been a covering machine. Exactly. Covering a lot of numbers. I just got off work. I was looking for your brief take on LSU. Yeah, I didn't bet much on. I don't have much in that game. I don't think LSU is real legitimate yet, but I also don't love Utah State because they're just not the same team they were last year. I don't have much. If it hit 28, I'd have little interest in Utah State, but not a game I'm betting on. All right, couple more here. Washington, Stanford. Stanford, we pretty much understanding at this point they're not very good. Georgia should crush Tennessee. Tennessee's complete trash. Arizona, Colorado. Seems like Colorado hasn't played in weeks. Maybe I just don't remember them since they played that Nebraska game. But yeah, I think for me, I have the games I like. 4 games I put out. As far as a free pick for the show, I'm going with West Virginia plus the points. I think they hang against Texas. I think they're starting to find something in Morgantown. So that's going to be my free pick of the day. Here's what we'll do, guys. We'll do 5 minutes, rapid fire, whatever you got. If I went over it, I'll quickly hit on it again. I don't normally do that, but, I think going forward, guys, this show is at 10:30 a.m., just so you know, and you can get involved. So we'll wait for questions to trickle in here. I want to check one thing here. Might be time to stay away starting from the Timu Puki to score any time. Might be time to get away from that. We're starting to have a little crack developing there. This is like 2 or 3 games in a row where he hasn't scored. And against Aston Villa, who have been giving up goals. So that's interesting for sure. Ipswich have scored. Oh, and Peterborough's blown the lead. Holy shit. Unbelievable. Peterborough was just up 2-0, and they've blown the lead. It's now 2-2 against Wickham Wanderers of all fucking teams. Unfucking believable. Jesus Christ, man. Wickham have scored 2 goals in 7 minutes. You've got to be fucking kidding me. What a fucking joke. Naturally, Ipswich have scored, and Peterborough have blown the fucking lead. Motherfuckers. Fucking Christ, man. I really like Army with the triple option. Yeah, I don't buy into that. They've played all week to stop it. You can't play all week to stop an option in 1 week. You just can't. My thoughts on Missouri. I think they're still largely questionable. I don't know what their defense is. They should score points at will against Bayern Munich, Troy. Hoffenheim beat Bayern 2-1. Yeah, I don't bet much in the Bundesliga. I didn't see that. Can Mizzou play in a bowl game this year? Did they get an appeal? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know that answer offhand. So Wickham scored on an own goal. You got to be fucking kidding me. What a joke. What a fucking joke. Fuck, man. It's going to be a long final 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so here with these games. No verdict yet on the bowl game. Okay, interesting. Thoughts on Maryland Rutgers? Yeah, I didn't talk about that game. Good call. For me, I got some interest today in what I see out of Rutgers. Rutgers has a new coach, Nunzio Campanile. Nunzio Campanile is a high school legend in New Jersey. He was at Don Bosco for a lot of years as an offensive coordinator. He went over to Bergen Catholic, who's a big-time New Jersey program, and he won some state titles with them. He's a good coach, and now he's at Rutgers. This is kind of how you go on a coaching tree. You start in high school, you go up to the college ranks, and you start to do some good things. This is a good coach. I'd have to think there's some pep in Rutgers' step today. They have a new quarterback as well, Johnny Langan. Johnny Langan actually was a quarterback for Campanile at Bergen Catholic. So these guys know each other. They know each other well, actually. He ran their offense at Bergen Catholic. So this is going to be an interesting game. You have kind of teacher-student, and they know each other well. How do they approach a Maryland team who's off a 59-0 loss? These are always interesting because you wonder, how does a team respond after that kind of game? Does Maryland lay down and they're just bad? Or, do they come to play and beat up a bad Rutgers team? I'm not betting this game. I kind of want to see what we have out of this new coaching staff and this new quarterback. But don't be surprised if Langan whips it around. He knows his coach well. Kelly Bryant is a sleeper Heisman. No, he's not. Kelly Bryant has no shot to win the Heisman. Sorry, man. I mean, I don't know if you're a fan of Missouri, but Kelly Bryant has no shot to win the Heisman. If Kelly Bryant wins the Heisman, I will never do another show on this network. I will retire and go away. You'll never hear from me again. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You'll enjoy your day. Thanks for watching. Free pick of the day. Going to go West Virginia plus 10.5 here on the show. You'll have a great day. Thanks for checking me out. As always, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. We got plenty of content coming out. Next week, we'll be back. Same thing. Plenty of college, plenty of NFL. Right Side of Campus is back as well. If you don't know, we're back every day, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you check out Donnie and I. We're going over the day in sports. We're talking about all the great stories in sports, and we're breaking games down. Make sure you check that out every day at 1 o'clock Eastern here on my channel. So if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching after the fact, thanks for watching. I'm the Big Man on Campus. We'll see you tomorrow for NFL.